Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start chapter 6 of the textbook today on our court system and practices, CRIJ 1306. Our learning objective, we are going to talk about the prosecutors. Today, our learning objective, we're going to be able to discuss the two major characteristics of prosecutors in the United States, describe the three most important entities in the federal prosecution, identify the three somewhat overlapping agencies involved in prosecution in state court, explain the major factors affecting the life of assistant district attorneys, analyze the principal factors affecting prosecutorial ethics, outline two major examples of the expanding domain of the prosecutor. What are the origin of the public prosecutors? They are regarded as government employees in civil service, evolved from private prosecutions at English common law during the British era in America. Private citizens facilitated private vengeance, led to the idea of a public prosecutor. Concerns regarding due process about private prosecutions led to public prosecutor model. We also have quasi-public prosecution. Most of these are prosecutors that are under the outsourcing model, and they are regarded as part-time prosecutor model. Role of the prosecutor. Major characteristics. They have broad discretion. In other words, they have choices on what kind of charges an individual could face, whether to bring charges or not. They are part of the executive branch of government. They are regarded as officer of the court, and they are immune from civil lawsuit when acting as courtroom advocates. In other words, when they are representing the government in the case before them in the court. They also have the right, like I said, to make a charging decision. In other words, choice of whether to charge somebody with a crime or not. We're also going to look at the focus concern theory and decentralization. Prosecution in federal court. At the federal level, we have the U.S. Attorney General. Three most important entities in the U.S. Attorney General's office. We have the Solicitor General, is the third ranking officer in the Department of Justice. And then we have the Criminal Division of the Justice Department. This is where they formulate criminal law enforcement policies in federal cases. And then we have the U.S. Attorney's Office. They are regarded as the principal litigator under the direction of the Attorney General of the United States. U.S. attorneys, they are appointed and served at the discretion of the President with the consent of the Senate. They have three statutory responsibilities. 1, prosecution of criminal cases brought by the federal government. 2, initiate and defense of civil cases in which the United States is a party. 3, collection of certain debts owed to the federal government of the United States. Prosecution in state courts. They also have three overlapping entities at the state level. We have the State Attorney General's Office, the Chief Prosecutor at the State Attorney General's Office, and then we also have the local prosecutor at the city or county-wide offices. Assistant district attorneys have high turnover. Most of the time they get their training on the job, so most of them just came out of law school, and we have a phrase referring to them nowadays as young prosecutor syndrome. And promotion and office structure is based on experience, and they are being supervised by a section head at the district attorney's office. Ethics in prosecution. representatives of both victims and the police. Prosecutors have absolute immunity within the realm of prosecutorial functions. They also have what is called qualified immunity. In other words, when not acting as advocate for government. Ethical issues different from those facing different attorneys. Clients of the prosecutor is the government at the district attorney's office. Ethical issues facing prosecutor also include disclosure of evidence, conflict of interest, discretion, and in many cases, how much information to release to the public. Prosecutors and courtroom work groups have conflicting goals and contrasting work groups. Some of the prosecutors have different political styles and contrasting work groups. And some of them might be running in a party election, either as a Democrat or a Republican. And the way they socialize varies from one county to another. Improving police-prosecutor relationship is one of the goals of the District Attorney's Office or the U.S. Attorney's Office. They promote adequate police reports and contact between the two parties all the time. Community prosecution is the goal. Under the community prosecution, crime prevention is the main target and goal. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of chapter 5. Chapter 6, and now we are going to start chapter 7